You're listening to Adventure Airwaves.
You are listening to Adventure Airwaves, joyful journeys, place-based predicaments, and adventures of questionable significance.
Welcome to Adventure Airwaves. It's July 23rd right now, around 9 in the morning, and I'm drinking a cup of coffee. And just finished checking on the chickens in the backyard, checked on the guinea pigs, walked around the garden, and by all accounts, it's a beautiful day. And this summer is coming to an end, at least for me. I'm a teacher, and for those of us who are teachers or students or even parents are probably starting to feel that looming end of summer and coming of fall feeling. Seems kind of early to say that, doesn't it? July. But my summer has been filled with lots of adventure, but not quite the adventure in the traditional sense that we would normally think of. You know, I haven't done any major backpacking trips or any huge rock climbs besides some solo climbing dates. But what I have been doing is exercising, and I've been going to the local climbing gym. And I was there yesterday, and I saw a fellow trying a route, and I definitely try my best not to be a beta sprayer, you know, try not to tell people what to do or how to hold on to the holds or anything like that. I've been guilty of that in the past, and to my previous climbing partners, sorry about that. But yesterday I was watching a fellow, and he was asking for some advice from some of his fellow novices, and what he needed to do was so obvious that I asked. I said, "Hey, I'm sorry for getting up in your biz, young man, but is it okay if I give you some information?" And he said, "Sure, you know, it's my first day climbing." And so I told him, you know, don't go up so high on that sloper, get down low, keep your elbow in, you know, some of that classic stuff. And as the evening progressed, you know, he sat down next to me and we started talking about all those normal things like climbing shoes and how often to climb and things like that new climbers want to know about. And he said, "Hey, do you mind if I ask, how long have you been climbing?" And I did some math, and I told him, you know, that my college required a PE class, and I didn't want to take a traditional PE class, so I signed up for the rock climbing class, and that was back in the day. That was actually probably around 1996 or 1997. And so I calculated the number of years, and I told this guy, and he said, "Whoa, that's how old I am." And I went, "Whoa, okay. I guess I started climbing when you were born then." And that made me feel old and a little bit disconnected. And I thought back to my time at Chico State out in California, which is where I learned to climb. Strangely, we had a climbing gym back in the day at my college. And I thought about then and about how my first climbing guide was printed out by a local guy who owned a shop, and it had one staple in the corner, and it was all handwritten. And I thought about my first climbs and how crappy the webbing was at the anchors and the angle iron bolts, and just how scary it was and how we didn't know any better. And I looked around the gym, and I noticed something else. Everybody had the same kind of hat on. And this is a type of hat that I hadn't seen before. You know, when traveling, I'd seen them in Mexico and South America, but I hadn't seen them in the US. And I started to realize that, hey, for the last few years, everybody has this same kind of hat. So I went online and I did some research, and I learned that this hat that people wear, this outdoorsy hat, is called a 5 panel hat. And I sat down and I got my guitar. This was later in the evening, and I just started writing my feelings, my reflection about this hat and about my hat and how they're different. And what came out of it was a little ditty called 5 Panel Hat.
Stone dance, mountain town, beach town, Walmart parking lot, each town. Got prana on my skivvies, in case you wanna reach down. That 5-panel hat, 5-panel hat. Everybody got a 5-panel hat, 5-panel hat. What's that? 5-panel hat. Everybody got a 5-panel hat. Mustache wax, 5-panel hat, 5-panel hat.
Music on this episode by Seeking Madras. Find the album Bike Ride online at seekingmadras.bandcamp.com. Adventure Airwaves, written and produced by me, Wes Davis. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a positive review or tell a friend or yell it out the window. Thanks for listening. Cheers.
You're listening to Adventure Airwaves.